For several years, people in Jamaica Plain and Roxbury have been trying to get a new recreation center for Jackson Square. To drive the project forward, the area's nonprofit development group Urban Edge recently announced a crowdfunding campaign. To bring us up to date are the Deputy Director of Urban Edge, Provencher, and the co-chair of the Jackson Square Recreation Center Capital Campaign Committee, Charlie Rose. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you for having us, Chris.
I want to say with Charlie, this is a long campaign. So talk about what got this going and why it's needed.
Well, Jackson Square is a crossroads of the community between Roxbury and Jamaica Plain, as you said, and for a long time, the neighbors on both sides of Jackson Square have wanted to redevelop, more housing, better integration of the community, and something for youth and families to participate in. And it's always been a vision to have a neutral, vibrant recreation center in the middle of Jackson Square.
Well, the middle is also squarely between Bromley Heath and Academy Homes, and those are two populations that have had some friction over there. You can have a place where they can come to and all get along?
Yeah, and if you don't have a place where they can come to and all get along, they won't. And so we believe that this is going to be a common ground for everybody. Everybody's welcome, a safe spot, a neutral spot, and a place to build bonds in the community.
Katie, talk about what else is going on here, because maybe we didn't foresee this as clearly 15 or 20 years ago, but there's a lot of new development going on, and there's yet another new population that's being drawn into this too.
There is, and that actually, really works to our advantage. You have Jackson Square that's home for many, many families for a long time, and we're Urban Edge, along with the Jackson Square partners, Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Development Corporation, the Community Builders, Hyde Square Task Force, are all really working together to build homes and to really have people that are living there and new people that are moving in, and to have this be a complete neighborhood with a recreation center and commercial spaces, and really have it be comprehensive is something that everyone's excited for. This idea is really one that has come from the neighborhood.
Well, when I look at some of the renderings here, this looks like a nice building, lots of things going on in there. Where are you going to get the money for all this? So
we've been hard at work with folks like Charlie Rose and our Capital Campaign Committee. The renderings that you've seen are a $21 million project, and that will include the first floor of ice, and the second floor will be turf, and over 5,000 square feet for community programming space. We have $5.69 million from the state that has been invested in this center, and we're looking at doing about $4 million in new market tax credits, and we've been raising the additional money over the past year.
Charlie, I think when you talk about the activities in this center, I'm thinking of after-school programming that these young people might not be able to get at other locations. What kind of things, other than maybe ice skating or sport?
Well, we'll have a sheet of ice for ice skating and hockey potentially. We'll have a turf field for soccer, for other indoor sports, both in the winter and year-round. We have a tremendous amount of people who are interested in the space, including Boston Public Schools, colleges in the area, all kinds of soccer leagues, hockey leagues, lacrosse, baseball. So it's going to be a multi-purpose recreation center.
What about the importance of young people being able to get involved in these things? Because it's not just that they get exercise, or some of them, if they're really good, getting a scholarship. It means this whole socialization that goes in.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, the last time I was on your show, it was because a young person had been shot and killed several years ago in our city, and we believe that spaces like this bring people together, give folks a sense of how to be part of a community, how to be part of a team, how to be a neighbor, and we want young people to grow up in those kinds of settings, and people are really excited to have a space dedicated to community and harmony.
Katie, you recently brought up how this is going at the annual meeting of Urban Edge.
Yes.
What was that like?
It was wonderful. It was an evening really focused on the recreation center and the families and young people that live in Jackson Square. Grant Townsend, who's our former NHL player, joined us as a keynote speaker, and Charlie Rose and Jim Garrity, who are our co-chairs, really joined us on stage. And although I mentioned before we have $21 million campaign, we're over halfway there. A big piece of that evening was launching our Dedicating Dollars fund, and so really getting the word out for people in the neighborhood who have been a part of designing this, and really showing a way that they can give to help make this a reality.
Well, why is it so important? Because it's obviously not just about the amount of money they can chip in.
Correct. Correct. I mean, just really building awareness and really showing the neighborhood an idea that they've come up with, that they've believed in, that they know that they deserve, and we know that they deserve to come out really right in Jackson Square on the site of where the recreation center is going to be built, and to say we're going to make this happen in our neighborhood. It was just a really exciting night. There's a tremendous amount of support for this recreation center, and Charlie and I and others will not stop until we have it built.
Charlie, one other thing I see the way this is working out here is that you have an area where there are many people in need, but there's also gentrification going on, and some of these little shops that open up, that the people who have the money can go there, the rest of the neighborhood will be absent. And I guess this is one place where they're not going to be absent.
Yeah, this is one place where everybody's welcome. We welcome everybody. So gentrification of the neighborhood, gentrification in Boston is a reality, and we believe that this is a key piece in bringing people together, in getting families to thrive no matter what side of the tracks they come from. And we want a state-of-the-art building. This is not going to be a shabby building, which is why there's a $21 million price tag. We've raised over $11 million, and we believe you pay for it now or our society pays for it later.
Right. And Katie, this is part of what you do at Urban Edge. You don't just put up buildings and maintain them. You're trying to think of what happens to people over time.
That's right. It's one thing to build buildings, but it's another thing to get families in those buildings and to have them be able to stay there and to be a part of the neighborhood. And for us, it's really always listening to how can we be helpful, what can we do next, how can we work with the neighborhood. And this has been a clear message to build this recreation center.
I'm going to ask you for one more clear message. If people want to chip into this campaign, the crowdfunding at least, what's the best way for them to pursue that?
To go onto Urban Edge's website, so www.urbanedge.org. That's www.urbanedge.org, and right on there will link to the dedicating dollars and all the other information that we have on the project.